Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is slavery and the Holocaust. Our guest is Alana McLaughlin, and we're fortunate to have her here to talk about this extremely important issue of slavery and the Holocaust. Alana, let me welcome you to the show this morning and to talk about a topic that I believe to be very, very important because it deals with the exploitation of two different groups of individuals. And I think that this was the topic that you wanted to talk about, called slavery and the Holocaust. You've given us a lot of information since you've been with us dealing with the institution of slavery, you see, and so now you've added another area in your discussion, and that is the Holocaust that occurred between 1939 and 1945, and you're dealing with one slavery for 300 years and one with the Holocaust for only a few years. But let's start off by talking about Alana before we start talking about slavery and the Holocaust, to give you an opportunity to talk about your background, your education, and some of the things that in a real sense have kept you coming to this particular show as our guest this morning.
Well, as you know, my name is Alana McLaughlin. I was born August 27th, 2002, approximately 5 o'clock. I'm currently in 5th grade, but today we're going to talk about the schools that led up to me going to 5th grade. For pre-K, I went to Napier Elementary, and for kindergarten and first, I believe I went to Alex Green Elementary. Then for 2nd and 3rd, I went to Glenn Elementary, and I believe for 4th grade, I went to Robert Churchwell Magnet Museum Elementary, and now I reside in 5th grade at John Early Magnet Elementary.
And so we're using you in a real sense, Alana, as a poster child in reference to trying to reach out and touch young people within your age category, primarily those individuals between 5 and 11 or 12 years old. And the information that we would like for you to discuss really relates to them, gives them an opportunity to see somebody within their age period doing some that kind of thing. Let's start off talking about this first topic, dealing with slavery, and then later on we'll talk about the Holocaust. Let's start off with slavery.
Well, there are different kinds of slavery, like human trafficking, but today we're talking about the main thing that we think of when we talk about slavery. Slavery lasted 300 years from 1619 to 1865. Now, in 1619, 14 African Americans were taken and they started to work on their master's farm, picking cotton and washing clothes, and that's basically how slavery began. Slavery basically told African Americans that they were nothing but property, that they had no rights, they had no 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, they had basically no rights or no saying anything. Unless your master said it, you couldn't get married, and if you did get married, you couldn't have an official ceremony, you had to jump the broom. If your master said you can't take a nap, then you're going to be working all day. If your master said this, then you're going to have to do it. And if he said you can't do it, then you're not going to do it, basically. He had all control over you. If somebody had a problem with you, they would take it up with your master because you are nothing but property. So basically, that's how slaves felt. And we're going into abolitionists. Now, abolitionists, they wanted to stop slavery, and when we talk about abolitionists, it's a word that comes off of the word abolish. Now, abolish means to get rid of. So, an abolitionist wants to get rid of slavery. Now, so basically, let's take Dred Scott. His master took him to a free state, and he believed that he should have been freed when he was there. So he took it to the Supreme Court, and that court told him that you are nothing but property, so get out of this courtroom because you will not be freed. But when his master died, the master's wife and brothers helped set Dred and his whole family free.
And so in a real sense, you're pointing out some negative, but at least one small positive thing in reference to slavery, that at least there was an owner who has some compassion upon his slave, and eventually the very famous slave that you're talking about here is Dred Scott. And let me tell you how much we appreciate that kind of information, because when we come back, we want you to pick up again dealing with the institution of slavery and talk about how slavery came to an end. And then that next segment we'll probably be able to talk about the Holocaust. But we want to devote this first segment and this second segment dealing with the institution of slavery. And I think you've done an excellent job in reference to giving us that. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.